Looks like we're working to me. Howdy, howdy. It's Sunday. Man, I tell you, having more than 2 days off really does not make you ever does not make you ever want to go back to work. I am very in that I don't ever want to work again mode. You know, that's where I am right now. It's pretty sweet. But unfortunately that is not the case. Tomorrow back to the grind. But today we get to chill. I'm taking my husband to part of his anniversary gift this evening. I got him tickets to see Uncle Roger, who's like a YouTube stand-up guy that he really gets a kick out of. So we're gonna go see him tonight. It's gonna be pretty fun. But right now, get to relax and do some hobby goodness. So, excuse me. I've been passively working on bits and bobs for Expanded Space Otters. So I built them this little truck, magnetized all the different guns and stuff. It's pretty sweet. The back door actually could be posed to be open or closed, which is cool. I just glued it shut, but it's pretty neat. And yeah, it's a cute little moon buggy truck. It should be good for the Space Otters. Get an otter head in there and then get it painted up, and it's got little glass canopies that go over it. It's got little glass bubbles. And it's a pretty cool little miney kind of utility looking truck. And it's got these armor plates that kind of look bolted on. I like it. I think it's pretty sweet. So that's going to be for the Space Otters. And it kind of brings me to sort of what my next kind of plans are. Because I think I'm going to play some Stargrave. Because I really liked that. I think I want to play through some kind of campaign thing. But I don't know if I want to do it with Star Wars minis. Because that would be really fun, and do a Star Wars themed campaign. Or if I want to do it with Space Otters and do Warhammer themed. So I'm kind of... Hello! Roger, Roger, indeed. So I'm kind of on the fence of which one of those I want to do. I've been on the Star Wars kick. I've been really enjoying it. So I might do it in Star Wars. Do a Star Wars themed thing. But we'll see. I always I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it something else. And then I always just end up theming everything for Warhammer. But before I start working on some terrain, I want to work on the speeder bike a little bit. And it's going to get a couple of things. It's going to get a metallic dry brush, and then I'm going to clean up and do some stippling on the colors so that they stand out a little bit more. But yeah, I've still been on this mega Star Wars kick. Just man. It's been really fun. I've been actually super enjoying it. The models are a lot different. There's a lot of crazy cool stuff to 3D print. Right now I have a whole faction of the Pikes from Boba Fett. A whole faction of them. Waiting to get top coated. So I'm just gonna hit different areas with the silver. It'll just look like she's a little beat up. Just what I want. Doing very little bit of dry brushing. Just so it's got a little bit of metallic scrapes and stuff when your eye catches it. You know, should just add a little bit more like interest to the overall like dirty weatheredness, right? I'm not trying to beat it up too much, but I definitely want, you know, this to not look like it's a fresh vehicle, you know? One of the really fun things about the original Star Wars trilogies is just how worn and weathered everything is. Like, everything is grimy. And like, kind of knackered and... It's one of the things that, like, the later, like the later films, like the prequels and stuff, really kind of missed. Was that just nasty dirtiness? Right, so we'll put a little bit extra in that one corner. Maybe there was some like damage there or something, right? Maybe that's why maybe that's why this is like missing, right? Maybe there's like an explosion, caused a bunch of damage, but get it all beat up, looking pretty sweet. And then I don't want to like. I like the brown being kind of muted, but I want to pull out the like stripe color that I did. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of that and we're gonna stipple it. Not so it like, not like completely repainting it, but just so there's some like variation in it. Alright, so this will dry a little darker. But it's not going to be as dark as the parts that are there hit with the earth shade. I should get a nice little bit of variation once it dries. And this guy will get top coated. Same thing over here. Same kind of like little bit of stepline. But yeah, then this guy's gonna get top coated. Then I can put the little glass, because he's got a little piece of glass that goes right there on, and then I'll weather that up too. Weathering that's gonna be easy. It's just gonna be little bits of. It's gonna be like a pin wash of Agrax Earthshade on it, and that's what it should be. It should be fine after that. Blend that in a little. Blend that in a little. Get the brush a little extra wet. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that'll be my speeder. I know, I haven't seen you in forever, man. What's been going on? Next Sunday, if you want to come out, I'm going to be playing AOS with Paul. If you want to come out and hang out. I haven't played AOS in so long that I'm basically need to relearn how to play. So if you want to come and hang out while me and Paul like figure it out, that'd be cool. We're playing next Sunday. Thanksgiving was pretty good. We had we went to like a work friend's house, and that was nice. all Brian's people. Got to hang out with them. It was cool though. We had a good time. But yeah, so there's a speeder bike. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty dirty, pretty beat up. It'll look nice. But she needs to get top coated next. So she's going to go off the screen right there. And we're going to bring on the culmination of 2 streams. My first piece of scarif terrain. So these are going to go onto a water mat. It'll be like little sandy islands. So I've gotten to this point previously on stream. So this is a piece of foam with some 3D printed bits from Darkfire Designs on it, and then trees from Amazon. Which is pretty darn cool. So they're all glued down now. I went through and tried to clean up some of their lines and stuff. And then I did one more thing to this. I put that in 40K too. It's great. Glad you all had fun and great company this Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was pretty good. Usually it's just me and Brian on Thanksgiving, so it was definitely different than the last couple of Thanksgivings we've had, but it was fun. It was fun to hang out with his friends and stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played 40K in forever. I played a bunch of Space Station Zero, some Battletech. Yeah, basically all I've been playing is Space Station Zero and Battletech. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up some more Stargrave on the channel and try to get back, because I really enjoyed playing a game every weekend. I'm going to try to get back in the swing of that, playing a game on the channel every weekend. I think that's going to be like my goal, you know. Looks like you're ready to dioramas with Kashik just before 6. Yeah, so these are it's just going to be scarif. So what I'm trying to do for Star Wars is do a scarif board, which is the planet from Rogue One, the like beachy Hawaii looking planet from Rogue One. So I have a water mat, and then these are going to be like sand islands, like in the shallows, all around. So I got to this point before on stream, so I did this whole part on stream before, and then I added a piece of hardboard to the bottom just to give it some more rigidity and shape. Now my next step for this is going to be covering the whole thing minus the 3D printed parts on the trees in Mod Podge, just to protect the foam for when I spray it. So this is going to get fully Mod Podged. And then, after the Mod Podgening, I hit the entire thing with earth texture from Vallejo, desert sand, and then I sprayed it. So I did the desert sand texture after I sprayed it. Or no, before I sprayed it. Then I went through and dry brushed on some stone golem, just that guy right there. And then this is uniform gray, and then dry brush of light gray from model color to produce this like generic imperial gray. That's how I did that. This is how I did the ATST as well. So same kind of thing. See, I put a little bit of sand on the steps because that made sense to me. And the trees are a mix of browns and greens. The browns are walnut from Scale Color, fur brown from Army Painter, and the greens are Commando Green and Crypt Wraith from Army Painter. And I kind of just put those in. You'll see there's little bits of tan in there still that I missed. I'm okay with that. I think it actually makes the leaves look more natural because having like little dead parts in there. And then I hit all the shafts, giggity, with egg restriction. But this here, our next steps here, it's actually flocking. So it's going to be flocking, top coat to seal everything, and then tops are the next steps for this. So for flocking, we've done it before on the channel. We'll do it again. I was hoping... I have a trillion of these little Gundam boxes. I was hoping I'd find... Here we go. Got one here. Hold on. 1 second. I meant by scarif. Not sure we're going yet, but the train products are always fun to watch and play. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why. I've been just on this fucking massive train kick for like the last half of this year. And I've just been really enjoying making terrain. Rogue One is really good. It's actually one of the best Star Wars films, at least in my opinion. Oh, I like it a lot. It's got a lot of really fun characters. It's got I don't know, just lots of good stuff in it. Really cool settings. Scarif looks like Hawaii. What the fuck am I stuck on? Sure, stuck on something. I don't know what. Alright. Oy, oy. So this is the problem with me not like cleaning up my desk to play every couple of weeks. Like it just gets covered in like different projects and bits and bobs. And I can never find anything. Rah! The Elmer's glue. The Elmer's glue. Alright, we need a dead garbage brush to work with Elmer's glue. To the dead brush pile! There you go. Oh, you're actually not that bad. You're on the floor now anyway, so yeah, that's where you live now. Ah, there's my brush. There's my glue brush. This brush is so fucking knackered. It probably doesn't look like it, but it like is super knackered. So, what we're going to do, we're going to brush on some Elmer's glue. I'm going to put on some flock. This is Woodland Scenics Blended Turf. This was like $15, but if you don't use it on everything, this container lasts for like a fucking year. Like, I've literally, all my Battletech terrain, everything is used as container. And you can't even see, it doesn't even look like it used any of it. So, we're going to plant it, that way I can see, also sell overpriced milk and have eroding beaches, lol. Yeah, so it actually is an Empire Rim planet. It's like a test kind of planet for like weapons development, which is pretty cool. It's just a really neat idea. So like you see like ATST walkers walking around like clearly like under test and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool. Alright, so I want to put some grass around. I don't want to do it that way. Yeah, I will. I want to put some grass around the trees here, and I'll put a little around the turret. So like on the side of the turret, I want to put some. So I glued some around. Now we're just going to paint it on. Like that. Alright, just like that. Just like that. There we go. And then we're going to put some, I think I want to put some over here. I'm just going to put a little bit more down over here just to be sure. Alright, and I'm just going to paint it around just like that. Right, same thing with over here. Just going to paint it around just to make sure it's good. Just like that. Just painting it all around. Okay. Then let's go in the box. And sprinkle mode engaged. Fart a bunch of flock down on it. Just like that. There we go. Alright. So we farted our flock down on it. Now I'm just going to tap it off. Tropical paradise. Oh, yeah. Why is the Empire? Sidious comes here once a year to sunbathe. Yeah, probably. Scarif really does look like the Empire. Like, it really, really does. Alright, so we got a little bit of flock there. It's pretty good. And then we will do tufts and stuff on top of that once it's top coated. So this will get clump foliage. Actually, let's do a little clump foliage. We can clump foliage now, and then we'll do. You don't really want to do tufts and stuff before you top coat because I think they get clumpy. Never actually tried it. It's just what I've always been told. But I do like to do the flocking before I top coat because that gives it something extra to like hold it in place. And there we go. The extra just goes right in, back in. Alright, let's do some clump foliage. I like clump foliage. Oh. I think I like clump foliage because there's this YouTuber who uses it like in all of his things, but he has this really strange accent. So anytime he tries to say clump foliage, he actually says cunt foliage, and I think that makes me chuckle every single time I think about it. I never messed with flock before. I'm curious. Yeah, flock it's actually not hard. It seems like it's going to be a right pain in the tail, but it's actually not. You just have to make sure you give it enough time to dry and that you tap off the excess, like I did. And also that you don't use it. You don't use it when the piece is still wet. So, like, it has to be perfectly, absolutely dry before you flock. Otherwise, you're going to have flock stuck in your paint. So, like, you have to be like, okay, I painted this a day ago. I can flock it now. I can flock it now. You have to be. Actually, painting this one is going to be a bad idea. You have to be patient with it, or you're going to have a bad time. And you'll have, like, flock, like, stuck in your buildings and shit. Right? Go. I probably would have liked this grass to be a little spottier, but it's okay. It's okay. Put little globs down, and then we put some clump foliage down, just like that. So clump foliage is supposed to be like little trees and bushes and stuff. Stuff that's like, just like small ground cover kind of stuff. That's what it's supposed to be. So. That's kind of funny, and the bag really looks like a bag of pot, which is very funny. Little clumps there. Little clumps there. Little clumps there. And then we'll put little clump over here too. So yeah, so you're just gonna get this big glob of it. You just kind of rip it all off, however you want it, just like that. It's nice little bits of like scrub bush is what this is supposed to be. So you don't want it everywhere, but you just want it, you want little bits of it around like that. See? And then we'll do grass tufts on this too after it's been top coated. So I'm going to leave this to dry a little bit, and then after it dries, I'm going to top coat it, just like, and we'll do grass tufts, and then my first piece of scarif terrain will be all done. Just like that. It'll be pretty boss. So, I think I want to do a couple like standalone forest pieces, I think, that are just like sand and trees. And then I think I want to do a couple more barricade pieces. So we've got those 3D printed barricades. I need to make some 3D printed more walkways though. So we're not there yet with that. But, so like this one, right? This one is barrels and walkways and trees. So what I think I want to do is I think I want to do some that are just kind of like just trees. I think that would be pretty cool. So I think maybe we will cut a couple of those out. For our scarif board. Give me 1 second. Put this guy down here. He's going to get top coated this afternoon. And then we will take a look. So these are the remnants I have from those 2 other pieces from the hardboard. So I kind of want to use these. So what I'm thinking is maybe like slicing this in half and doing 2 little clumps that are like trees and ground maybe. You can kind of like position wherever you want. And this one I might do one big like tree and ground one, but I think I'm going to hold off on this one. So let's plan out 2 little tree ones. So let's go ahead and we're going to get our hobby knife out. There we go. Cut this guy in half. These are little islands, so I definitely do not want them to be precise, right? So I'm just kind of going to eyeball everything, right? There they are. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to our foam. Actually, hold on. Hold on. I got some leftover foam. Let's look at the leftover foam first. See what we got. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, we'll use that. There we go. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Nice chunk here in leftover foam. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. So, we'll go ahead and we'll cut these out. Of course, we don't want the line to be straight. A little zigzag here. Like that. Go. Soup. Go. And then, let's see. Guess we'll round this edge here off like that. And then we'll round that one off too. can probably really need a new fucking razor knife. Probably extend this like out like that. Trying to like not have any like crazy sharp edges, you know. That. Yeah, there we go. Nice little block. Get some sand, get some trees on that. Should be pretty sweet. And this guy, pretty much doing the same thing again, right? I think for this time though, we're gonna try to keep that because I like it. So we'll cut the tip off of it. And then we'll cut that tip off too. And we'll just do a little bit. Some of this straight line is gonna disappear when we do the slanting on it, but some of it, like this corner and stuff, that needs to go. So same thing with this one, like that. There we go. So we'll have two weird shapes to turn into islands, which will be pretty sweet. All right. Okay. Step one. Let's get the hardboard down on this. So I'm going to use super glue for that. There's probably better glues to use for this. This is what I got. And this foam doesn't melt with super glue like the other foams do. So put that down. Put something fucking heavy on it, like that. And we'll do the same thing over here. This is just to give the piece a little bit of like, you know, a little bit of like stability. Just so it has like a spine essentially. Not really too much more than that. I'll put that down. And put something heavy on it. Just like that. There we go. We'll let those sit for a minute. And while those are sitting, let's look at our trees. Ba 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 ba, bag of trees. Let's get some soda. Alright, we got all kinds of trees now. I bought a second set of weird trees. So we got these crappy ones from before, and then we have the new nicer ones, which have like nice texture and stuff on them and way less flashing. Although some of the new nicer ones are kind of stupid. Like this one's stupid, right? Like I don't know. That one's dumb. But some of them are cool. Like this one's really cool. A little spike boy. And there's these little fat boys. So it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. We got a bunch of different kinds of trees now. There's these really cute little ones like this. Like I love this one. That one's really cute. I think there's only like one or two of those though. So, all right. So we got a couple different kinds of trees. What I've been doing is just mixing them, right? So like on the other pieces, it's just mixed kinds of trees. As I think that looks a little better, a little more natural. But we definitely want for each piece there to be like a couple tall trees and a couple like short trees, you know? Not like all just giant tall trees, you know, but they're palm trees, so like, you know. Sorry, I'm itching my shin. Yeah, I like the variety. It's fun, you know? And we should have like a nice variety in heights too. So, alright. So let's flip. These guys are probably good enough. So we can flip them over and remove the trees. So we're not going to use these leaves. I'll put those back in the bag. Alright. Yeah, that's good enough. Go. A couple different little islands. I got to round the edges off the islands. I should have done this before I put the stuff on the bottom. Putting the stuff on the bottom is going to make this a trillion times harder now to round the edges off. So that's fun. Also, I think I want part of this one to be like a little bit higher. So I think we'll use some of the scrap for that. So let's go ahead and let's do that. That'll be like a little bit of like a lift in one of the corners for this. I think that's kind of fun. Nice. All right. There we go. Okay. So what we're gonna do, just walk through, cut all the edges, give them a nice slant. I'm gonna do this on the big pieces too. But it would have been a lot easier if I hadn't glued the hardboard on the bottom, but I was not thinking correctly about order of operations like I should have been. But it is what it is. Alright. Keep slanting these just like that. There we go. Now what I can do with this is I can put this like this or something, and you know, give it a little bit of like height variation when I texture paint over the whole thing. Could probably honestly even do like that, but we'll just do the one. That way it'll give it a little more height variation, which will be pretty fun. So we'll go ahead. We're just going to start. This would have been better if I had done it before I did the hardboard. I wasn't thinking, but it's okay. Go. And run it down and peel it down. That edge can be a little higher, that's fine. There's a beach with variation. It's a natural structure, so there'll be a lot of variation. Which helps too, because I'm definitely not cutting at the same angle every single time, you know? Stuck still. That's gonna go all the way through that one. Alright, let's fix it. But yeah. Been on this just massive Star Wars kick. It's fucking huge. It's been really fun. I mean, 3D printing that Rancor and all the Nexus and stuff. Like, it's been a lot of fun to it. Doing these pikes now. I don't know. Just, it's, I love the setting of Warhammer, but I don't know. Sometimes it's so bleak. I just want something a little bit happier. Like, I usually love those like super bleak settings, like Dark Souls and Warhammer and you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just nice to have something a little bit happier. I think that's why I've been enjoying Star Wars, you know. Plus, like, from a painter standpoint, it's a lot more, like, I've been painting a lot of, like, Warhammer shapes and stuff, you know, and there's a lot more, like, variety when you branch out into something else, you know, like Star Wars. You know, so it, like, greatly increases, like, the amount of variety and stuff you have. There we go. All edged up. Giggity. Actually, let's glue this guy down. I'm tired of cutting edges. Alright. I think if I glue it in that corner, it should look pretty good right there. Yeah, I think that would look pretty darn cool. Let's do that. Yeah. That'd be cool. Let's do that. Go. There we go. Alright, and we'll make sure we put a tree on that hole, because that'll be cool. You know? That'll be super cool. Alright, so let's edge up the next guy. Ugh. So, yeah. So I think doing Stargrave with Star Wars stuff would be pretty cool. I think it'd be a nice way to get Star Wars stuff onto the channel, you know? And a nice use for the miniatures, because there's not really a official, like, skirmish, actual skirmish game. They have a skirmish mode, but it is not an actual skirmish game. So using Stargrave would be pretty boss as a way to play skirmish with Star Wars minis. So I think we might do that. I also kind of want to play Stargrave with more Space Otters, because I got the cool truck and all now, and I don't know. Well, that's a nice option, you know? There we go. Oh, fuck. Probably does not seem like hard work at all. But man, cutting the edges is hard on the hands. I am whining about such a first world problem. Oh my god, ignore me, please. God, it's so hard on your hands to make Star Wars Legion terrain. Oh, Jesus, just ignore me. I don't exist, please. Okay, there we go. Both sides edged up. This one's got its little lift. Alright, so which one do we want to plan first? Let's plan this guy first. So my plan for this guy is to have just trees in the middle. Right, so just like, essentially like a row of trees right in the middle. That's my plan for this guy. I think that's pretty good. So, let's use one of these. Let's get a tall tree in there. Let's get one of the nice ones. We'll use that guy. And then we'll use like a medium height, one of these ones. And those leaves are terrible. These leaves need love too, but alright, let's pick a fourth tree. Maybe a small one of those guys? Yeah, we'll use a small one of those. I have a lot of these kinds of trees, so we'll try to mix them up and use them. Alright, so there we go. There's some trees picked out. So what I'm thinking is like that, and then maybe like this. And then we put the small trees in the middle, or maybe like Big tree, small tree, big tree. Or big tree, small tree, big tree, small tree. Alright, let's put this guy in. I like this guy being here in the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut through it. Cut through the foam so he sticks in. Okay. And then I'm going to... My desk is a fucking nightmare! Oh, where are my nippers? They're there. And I'm going to cut his donger off. Just the tip. And we're going to shove it in the hole. He's around here. There it is. Okay. There he goes. Wah. And then we'll glue him down when we're all ready. I'm thinking maybe like that. And then maybe, oh, or like this. And then this. And then the little one. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's do that. All right. Nice thing about these is you can kind of like, all right, before we cut this guy's donger off, we'll just pop him in. See if we like it. And where's this guy? This guy was like this. Or is he closer? I think I want him closer. This is one of those pieces of terrain where it's like, I want it to be passable, but like I also want it to be like light cover, you know what I mean? Alright, we're gonna have to cut his donger down. Don't have a choice, my man, I'm sorry. Come on. There we go. Alright, and this guy, I guess we'll... Couple options, right? You can put him up here in the corner, and that'll give a nice little beach part here, or I can move him down and it'll be more like impassable trees. I think we'll put it here, like that, I think. Like that. There we go. Down and stick him in the hole. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be a nice little tree set. Like that. I think that's pretty boss. Alright. Let's cut this guy's donger down. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool. Could put another little one like right there if we wanted it to feel a little more terrainy. Maybe there's like a, hold on, I'm looking at the trees. Do something like that. Make it feel a little more dense. It's all good. We'll do it like this. I think that's a cool little setup, cool little piece with the trees. Alright, so let's inspect all the trees, see if we need anything we need to clean up before we can spray them. It's got some weird garbage there. There's not really anything that needs to be cleaned up on this tree. It needs to be reformed a little bit, but painting will also do that. Also reform the tree a little. So these leaves become like 1,000 times more stiff when you get some paint on them. Alright, so that one I think is pretty good. So we can go ahead and just glue him down. The two in the middle are probably going to need a lot of love. But we'll see. Just glue him down like that. I'll shove him in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him set, and then I'm going to do glue again around the bottom after he sets. Alright, so move on to the little guy here. We got any egregious bits in these sleeves. These trees are prone to big flashing problems. So cut off the tip of his dong. And there's some flashing on the leaves there. Pull that off. Alright, that's pretty good. And the tree has a really nasty mold line, so we'll take care of that. These are kind of a softer plastic, but mold lining removal still standard stuff like you do with a normal mini. So just going over it with the back of your hobby knife will get it done. And then anywhere it's a little thicker, you can come in with the hobby knife and just clip it out. Alright. There we go. And he's all good. And go ahead and glue him down. I'm leaving the tops not glued on because they're easier to paint when they're not glued on. Like getting up underneath the leaves and stuff is a lot easier when they're not glued on. There we go. This guy's going to be the big pain in the ass. So we're going to check this little spiky tree first. The little spiky tree is pretty good. Does this top come off? It does. The top to sit a little lower maybe? Oh, we can. God, these ones are so good. Yeah, these ones are really good. 10 out of 10. Little spiky boy. There we go. And last but not least, this fucker, who's going to take a lot of effort. Alright. Let's look up underneath, see if there's any like crazy flashing. Not really seeing any, so that's good. This guy won't be as bad as I thought he would. There it goes. Go remove that one mold line down the side. And it shall be golden. Yeah. There we go. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Put the top on and glue her down. And there we go. We have another little beachy set of terrain ready for basing and stuff. Yeah, there we go. So that'll be our like just little beach add-on. So, you know, if I want to like put this guy down, right, I'll be able to be like, oh, it's a big piece of beach, and have that right next to it. Hello, nice trees. And his future Hawaii doing? Thank you. Yeah, I like the trees a lot, and they paint up really nice too. So like, there's some painted ones, so they paint up really nice. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, so they'll do pretty good. So it'll just be a nice little like block of trees. Yeah, I'm really happy with how they look, especially when they're painted. So this was my draft piece of scarif terrain. because these are all going to go on a water mat, just to see like how it would look and if I was happy with it. This still needs to get top coated, and then it's going to get grass tufts, and then she's going to be good after that. But just quite happy with that. So now I'm making just some little blocks of just trees to add. We're going to go around the base of each one with some glue. So these little blocks of just trees will be really nice for gaming because I'll be able to like extend the other islands and stuff I'm making. So, little block of just trees, we'll put you off to the side, and we'll move on to the other block of just trees. There she is right there. So I lied. I'm not going to make this one just trees. I think I have some crates or something. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I'm going to put some crates and stuff on this one. I think that's just so it ties in a little with the more Imperial kind of bits. Yeah, just so it ties in a little bit more. And what we'll do is we'll put some trees here. We'll put some trees there. And I kind of like that. And then I can put a tree or two there and a tree there. And then this can be all a whole block of trees. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Alright, so let's pick some trees. Let's see. I want to use this little patootie this time because he's a cute guy. So I want to use him. And I don't necessarily need giant trees on this one. I've got a couple more really tall. I've got like 3 more really tall trees. I don't necessarily need a really tall tree on this one. God, I hate these ones. They look so terrible. So let's see. Do I have any mid-sized trees? I've got that guy who's like a mid-sized tree. I've got this guy who's like a little bit smaller. I really need a couple more just tall ones. Alright, so let's take this guy. We'll take one of the tall ones. And then we'll take maybe that guy. And then this little patootie. And we'll see how that looks. Alright, so let's see. We want one of the really tall ones. I think I'm going to actually put it like there. I think. So I think we'll put him there. And then lean on the dinosaur. And we'll put this guy back there like that. Alright, and then maybe we can put the little guy in the front. Or we could put one of these in the front like that. And the little guy could be like back here, and then this guy could be like there. That'd be a pretty cool, pretty tree dense little setup. Alright, so let's cut some holes in. Just gonna cut some slices in the foam. And we're gonna cut off their dongers, just the tip. They actually stay in the foam. There we go. Come on, stay in there. There we go. And then, let's see. That guy. Cut off the tip of his donger. The reason I'm cutting off the tips of the dongers is because the dongers are longer than my foam is. So they poke through and just touch the cutting mat otherwise. And then we'll do that guy like up on the little hill there. Since he's on a super bigger hill, don't need to cut his donger off. There we go. And then I kind of want to, maybe we'll actually leave that corner open. I don't know. We'll terrain? Like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, like that. It's like that, it's a little more closed off. If it's over like that, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I actually think I like that better, and then we'll put this guy here. And we'll put this little guy like right there. Yeah. See, the fun thing about terrain for Star Wars Legion is you don't really have to worry about like these massive line of sight blocking like walls and stuff, because since there is no like huge first turn problem like there is with 40k, where your whole army is gonna like get shot the fuck apart. That doesn't really happen in Star Wars Legion. Like, your guys can get shot up, yeah, and you can get shot up before you can really do anything, but it's not like it is in 40k where there's like massive issues with it, right? Like, because at most, before you do anything, you're gonna move one guy, right? Because it's an alternating activation game. So because of that, like, you're never in a situation where it's like, well, his entire army of fucking super shooting goes first, and then I get to go, and my Wookiees are all dead. You know, it's not like that. Shit. Come on, get in there. Just cut you a hole, damn it. There we go. Oh, knocked the eyesore over. Alright. Yeah, so that'll be our other like mid piece of pretty much just trees. And I'm gonna put these crates here. That way we can count it as like light cover, right? From multiple angles. So like a unit of guys, like say this unit of pikes, right? They'll be able to come up, and all the guys will be able to get some kind of cover out of it. You know what I mean? Pretty much from every angle except for like straight on, which will be pretty boss. Alright, so let's glue some stuff down. First off, let's glue down our crates and stuff. So I do have to give Imperial Terrain, which is where these crates came from, crazy props, because they do an awesome job of pre-hollowing everything. Like, just a phenomenal job. Like, legitimately, I could not have hollowed this as well as they did. So, big props to them for that. Alright, let's pull this guy out. Got a little bit of a mold line. On his butt and plop him in the hole. Boop. Just like that. And then we can do this guy. So the bottom leaves for these guys, like, the idea is really nice, but they have so much flashing, it's like impossible to get them cleaned up. when you look at these online, you do not see all that flashing. So, yeah, they look a lot nicer than they actually are. But clean up some of the mold lines on the trees. So I'm gonna have these two like just kind of like just tree pieces. Make sure there's no giant flashing on the bottom like that. We'll clean all that up down there. So I have these two just tree pieces, and then I'm gonna have a couple of barricade pieces, and then like one or two turret pieces. So my goal with all this is to fill up a 40 by 30 table, right? Which I think this is going to do pretty well. Did you make the trees or did you buy them? The trees I got off of Amazon, and then they just need a little bit of cleanup after that. So I searched miniature palm tree. That's how I found them. You get like, they're something like maybe 30 cents a piece. They're not like crazy cheap, but they're also like not crazy expensive. You know what I mean? And I have two different kinds. I like. Bleh. I picked up like two different packs of them, so that they I would have some like kind of like different kind of variety. Because one of the things I noticed with some of the scarif stuff I'd seen people do before, it was all pretty much just like, oh, this guy's donger is still too long. It was all pretty much just like the same tree, and I was like, I really want some more variation. Because when you look around out here, right, because like scarif's based on Hawaii, very like, it looks a lot like Hawaii, at least, let me say that. And when you look around out here, like the forests are not all one kind of tree. So I didn't want to have like just one kind of tree. Like there's a lot of different kinds of trees out here in Hawaii. Like even like palm trees and pine trees, which is the one that blows everyone's mind. Like coming out to Hawaii and having pine trees, you know? Alright, so this guy's got a really bad seam, but he also has like this really spiky texture. So I'm just going to have to try to clean it up a little bit. I'm not going to be able to like super clean it up. Yeah, I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot to this without just like creating a blank spot where there's no fucking texture on it. That's annoying. Yeah, there's nothing I can do with that one. Alright, that sucks. So yeah, I 3D printed the crates and the turret and stuff that was in the other piece I was showing off. And then on the other streams I've done for this, and then earlier in this stream, I showed how I made the bases for these. And then, let's see, pull off the bottom leaves because they're just too covered in stuff. Clip off his donger. Get in there and clip the flashing. But yeah, my big goal is to have this whole table done by Christmas. Glue my hand to my desk. Yeah, my big goal is to have my whole table done by Christmas for Scarif, because I just think that would be really cool. So I've got 3D print a little bit more. So there's a couple of a couple more pieces I want, like some more of those walkways and stuff, like in the other piece. The other big one I have. And I want to do some of the Imperial barricades. And some more crates and stuff too, obviously. So I gotta do the 3D printing still. The FEP on my printer's kind of busted right now, so I will have to wait on that 3D printing, but we'll get there eventually. There we go. Alright, any flashing on you? There's a ton of flashing, but I don't think any of it will be a problem. Yeah, should be good. I'm gonna glue you down. Brr, 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 brr. There's a lot of different bushes that grow on the beaches and near saltwater as well. If we want to add more underbrush, enough variety. You don't have any besides like so I'm gonna have clump foliage and I'm gonna have grass tufts and then the flocking, and that's gonna be all my underbrush. Just because I don't have anything else for underbrush. Like I don't have any of the like the big like palm kind of leaf plants, or any of the like succulents or anything that grows out here. I don't have any of those, so. But yeah, there we go. That's going to be another little pass-through island. We'll go around all the trees and stuff with a little bit more glue just to make sure it's good. Just to make sure they're good. Because the trees are, I'm not super worried about these barrels and stuff. They're probably fine. But the trees, they're all basically like fulcrums and like levers, essentially. Levers with fulcrums is the correct, what I should have said there. So making sure they have enough glue on the bottom is really important. Nice. All right. So yeah, so we got that guy, and we got this little guy here, right? And that'll make a nice little block of forest on Scarif. You know, and like if I wanted, right, like I could take those and like put them next to each other, and then we'd have a bigger block, right? Or I could take this and like put it off to the side like that, and you'd have like a really big, like kind of snaking long block of ground. So really the goal is to you know, the goal is to have some nice variety with these, really. Alright, so those guys need to glue, so they're going to go off to the side of the table. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to coat this fucker in Mod Podge. I'm going to put my trees away so they don't get everywhere, because my desk is a mess. But we can take little steps to make it better. So, I've shown cutting and beveling the trees. I've shown putting the hardboard on the, or cutting and beveling the foam, putting the hardboard on the bottom, planning these out, attaching the trees, you know, cleaning up the trees. The only thing I haven't shown so far is texture pasting everything, but I'm not there yet with this piece, unfortunately. The painting, like with the other one, and then Mod Podge. So this is Mod Podge. It's like Elmer's glue jizz. It's actually like a white PVA glue mixed with matte medium. Is what Mod Podge actually is. So it brushes on a little bit better than just pure Elmer's glue, and it sets a little better because of that. So the medium in it is basically the stuff that's in acrylic paint. But it is super good at sealing different materials. So in this case, I'm going to use it here to seal this piece of foam before I paint it. Because after this, it's going to get texture paint, and then it's going to get primed. And you're probably like, why are you doing texture paint before priming? I don't really like the color of the sand texture paint from Vallejo. So I'm going to handle that with my own color. So I'm going to prime it after I texture paint. So I'll still get the texture, I just won't get the color, which is fine. And this will seal it up. I am going to need to go back with all of these and do the bottoms as well, because the hardboard at the bottom, it'll just succumb to moisture over time. Even if it's never like, like rained on or anything crazy like that, it will just naturally absorb moisture. So I'm going to try to seal it to prevent that. But just getting a little bit of this on. Probably don't really need to do this step, but it's okay. I think I probably could just texture paint the foam, but I don't know. I don't think the foam would warp like the same way like like hardboard or paper would when it gets wet from paint, because paper will curl up and stuff, and so will hardboard. It'll slowly warp. So I don't think foam will do that, but just to be sure. Do I want to paint in the grates? We're gonna go with no on that one. But yeah, the goal is to have the whole table done by Christmas. And I think once this is done, I think I'm going to play some Stargray with Star Wars minis. I think that's what I want to do. And make like a whole little like Republic crew or something. And have them fight out a little story. Maybe I can do it in different eras, like maybe it starts in the Clone Wars or something, And then like Order 66 kicks in, and like the Jedi in the crew is now like a bad guy or something. Maybe something like that would be kind of fun. Let me use all my different models as different villains and stuff. See, the Mod Podge is already starting to set in some spots. Just going back and the spots where I can see it's pretty thin. Right, because brushing this on is always kind of weird because there's very little tooth to it. So you get these like little islands like that, right? And I hit them and smear them, I just want some cover. I don't want like, I'm not like using this to glue anything or anything like that. So, it's just like extra, just to try to protect the foam a little, There we go. Da-da-da-da, Mod Podge time. You had me at Elmer's glue jizz. Yeah, I mean, that's what Mod Podge is kind of is like. It's, it's like, I don't know, like runnier Elmer's glue, essentially. And that's the matte medium mixed into it. You can also get gloss Mod Podge, and it looks really like water. When you stipple it on, it looks really nice. Alright, so there we go. so there's that guy all Mod Podged up. And then we made this guy. Here he is. And then we made this guy. There he is. So they'll get all Elmer's glue jizzed after the super glue is done drying. And then all these guys will get texture paint, and then they'll get primed, and they can get all painted up, like this guy right here. Pew, 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 pew. You know, they can get looking nice, just like him. You know, and then I guess we also did the flocking on this guy today too. So that was a thing we did today too. So yeah, so this guy will get grasses, and then he'll be done. But yeah, what else did we do today? It's been just kind of like a random bits and bobs hobby day. Oh, we worked on this guy. We did all the dry brushing and the stippling on this guy as well. So he'll also get top coated. There he is. The fancy speeder bike. So yeah. Alright, well I'm gonna call it there and go try to get some relaxing in before I take my husband to go see Uncle Roger tonight. Yeah. And I will go ahead and I will catch you guys. Yeah. Next week hopefully I'll have a couple more pieces of this done. It should be good. Next Sunday, I'm playing a game of AOS with somebody on Sunday. So the stream will probably be later in the day, or it'll be Saturday. One of the two. So either just be Saturday or it'll be later in the day. I'm not sure which. But yeah. Alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this was fun and interesting, seeing some Star Wars stuff. My goal, I think, is going to be playing Stargrave with the Star Wars minis. I think that's going to be my goal. Nice! Thanks for watching, dude. Really appreciate it. But I think Star Wars Stargrave is going to be my goal once I get the table done. So maybe spring it in the new year with that, with the goal of having the table done by Christmas. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it there.